I want you to imagine this. You reach out your hand toward your budgie. Everything seems normal, but as soon as you move your hand forward, it suddenly starts biting you. This isn't a light, harmless bite. It's a painful one. When this happens, you pull your hand back, and you think to yourself, "My budgie is so stubborn." I know exactly how that makes you feel, because for exactly 2 years, I told myself the same thing. My parakeet's name was Mango. He was a male parakeet. He screamed constantly and was very stubborn. I'd say, "That's just my parakeet's nature. There's nothing I can do about it." I even bragged about it sometimes. I'd say, "I have a very energetic bird." But after losing Mango, I read up on, studied, and tried to learn about parakeet behavior. I realized there's a message behind every incident. I saw that I'd misunderstood most things. That's why this channel exists. Today we'll explore 5 reasons together. The 5th reason might surprise you, so don't skip to the end. But if this is your first time on this channel, please support me by subscribing and write your parakeet's name in the comments. Let's see which one is more interesting and funny. Thank you. 1. The bite that follows a stroke. You gently stroke your parakeet. It looks so sweet, almost as if it's lost itself in the moment. And it's very calm. Then, all of a sudden, it bites your finger. Everyone tends to interpret this as a sudden change in its mood. Or you might think, "I must have touched the wrong spot." But the reality is quite different. Budgerigars have a physiological threshold for touch. In nature, prolonged physical contact is reserved for mates, and even then, it's focused on the nape of the neck and the head, areas the bird can't reach on its own. When you touch these areas, you stimulate them, and over time, your budgerigar's nervous system accumulates this stimulation. And if you do this many times, you cross that threshold. So if your bird looks happy or relaxed while you're petting it, that's just tolerance. Be careful. When I stroked my parakeet for a long time, it would bite me after a certain point. I thought it was happy, but it was just tolerating it for a certain period. I didn't know that. For this reason, learn the warning signs your parakeet shows before biting. These include leaning backward, feathers flattening against the body, or the beak beginning to open. If it does even one of these, stop petting it. 2. Biting when you put your hand in the cage. When you gently bring your hand toward the cage door, your parakeet immediately darts toward your hand and bites. The biggest myth here is that it's its territory, so it bit me because I put my hand in its space. Therefore, there's no problem. Everything is fine. This is the biggest misconception. The truth is, in the wild, a secure space is the most essential requirement for survival. What would you do if someone entered your home without permission? This is exactly the same thing. Your parakeet is defending against unauthorized entry. It perceives it as a threat. This is an innate avoid the predator reflex. Because your hand is quite large. When I used to put an object into my parakeet Mango's cage, I'd quickly do my business and pull my hand back just as fast. I didn't pay him any mind. He'd try to bite, but I didn't even know why. Now I know the reason. What you need to do is hold your hand at the cage door for a few seconds before fully inserting it. Move slowly at a low angle. Never reach directly for your bird. Every time you extend your hand to place food, it can change your parakeet's perception, and it may come to see your hand as safe. 3. Biting. When something in the room disturbs them first, there's a loud noise, a stranger enters the room, or an unfamiliar object appears for the first time. Your bird immediately goes on high alert, won't come to your hand, or suddenly bites you when you try to calm it down. One of the biggest myths is thinking that our bird takes out its anger on us when it gets upset. We assume this is directed at us personally. But the truth is, when our parakeet experiences stress, hormonal fluctuations begin in its body, and it starts doing 3 things to survive: freeze, fight, or flee. When they're in a cage, which option is left? Of course it's fight. So the bite isn't directed at you. It's just a reflex and perfectly normal. When the vet came to my house, my budgie had become very aggressive in its cage. It was squawking and wouldn't stay still. I was trying to hold it still, thinking I was helping it, but I was making a mistake. It had bitten me many times that way. I'd get really angry. But I was making a mistake. What you need to do is, when something like this happens, don't touch it, don't react, and under no circumstances pick it up. Let it be for a bit so it can calm down. You can cover the cage with a cloth to reduce visibility and talk to it in a calm, unhurried tone. 4. Biting behavior. During hormonal phases, this can occur for a few weeks every year. It begins as daylight increases toward the end of winter and the start of spring. During these periods, your parakeet, which you can usually touch any time, may suddenly bite you if you try to touch it. Don't worry or get upset. You didn't do anything wrong, nor has your relationship soured. Your bird isn't mad at you. Don't scold it for this because budgies are sensitive to the photo period. So what does that mean? It refers to the duration of daily light exposure. As the amount of daylight in the environment increases, melatonin decreases, and testosterone levels rise in male budgies, while estrogen levels rise in females. Due to these changes, your budgie may seem more aggressive than usual. This is simply due to changes in its internal chemistry. It's normal. My budgie used to drive me crazy every spring with his mango-eating antics. I couldn't handle it. It really put me through the ringer. I used to think he didn't love me. I thought he was pulling away from me, but I didn't realize the truth was something else. 5. Biting behavior. They learn directly from you. Your parakeet has figured out a reliable equation. For example, if you stop, step back, or let go of it when it bites you, it will learn this over time. When it bites, you let go of it. It has figured out this equation. That's why it constantly bites your hand as a reaction, so that you'll let go of it. Biting is not a basic instinct, and the idea that they bite by nature is a misconception and not true. The truth is, parakeets are intelligent, contrary to what you might think, and have a high capacity for learning. If the behavior they exhibit, such as biting, yields the result they want, like you putting them down, they learn it immediately. Research on birds proves this. If the same event is repeated 3 or 5 times, your parakeet figures out the cause and effect relationship. My parakeet used to bite me whenever I picked up a mango, so I'd let it go right away. After a while, it learned this, and it started biting every time I picked it up. This was very wrong, but I didn't know it. What you need to do is this. When your bird bites you, don't pull away immediately or let go right away. Stay still for a few seconds. Don't react immediately when it bites. If you let go when it bites, it will keep doing it. But if you don't let go, it won't be able to establish a cause and effect relationship. Yes, you've learned most of it now. The fact that you're even researching this shows how much you value your bird. Because most people don't research this, don't care about it, or don't even think about it. Yes, you've learned most things now. Even researching this shows how much you value your bird. Because most people don't research, care about, or even think about this. I hope what you've learned has helped you better understand your budgie's actions. Everything has a reason, every movement, every flutter, just like other animals and humans. For this and similar topics, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos on how to take good care of your budgie. See you soon! By the way, I really miss my parakeet, Mango.